Hi everybody, here we are again, and the taste test glass is out, but not in that hand. It's in that hand. I'm here to do a comparison taste test between a Mangrove Jacks recipe number 18 Irish Stout. That's in that glass. And in the taste test glass is a Cooper's Stout, just a standard Cooper's Stout. I brewed the Mangrove Jacks first. I've got some footage, I'll put it at the end of the actual brew day. Now, I wasn't overly impressed with the kit, to be honest, for the price. I've also got another one coming up. I'll do that in comparison with the Coopers, because we're getting towards the end of the barrel of the Mangrove Jacks. I've started the Coopers early, and next is a Munton's Flagship creamy, what is it? Munton's Flagship rich creamy velvet milk stout. Mouthful and a half. So it's another stout. So it's 3 stouts in a row. But that is only been, it's not been long in the barrel. That's been a week longer in the barrel, so I'm broaching it early anyway, and that's been another week longer, or so. Call it a week. So it might be a little bit until I get to do the Coopers and the Muntons. But yeah, so we'll start with, that's the Coopers. We'll start with the one we started first. That's the Mangrove Jacks, recipe number 18, Irish Stout. It's got some tasting notes on there, I've not really looked at them. ABV, approximate 5%, I think it came out at 5.7. Let's have a quick look. Should stop picking stuff up really, shouldn't I? Yeah, came out at 5.7. Right, so I'll give you the info on this. Started at a starting gravity of 1052 at 15 degrees C, and you add a kilo of sugar to it. Finishing gravity of 1010 at 18 degrees C, and there was a dry hop stage as well. It came with a dry hop of East Kent Goldings, I think it said. Dry hop, Goldings, 20 grams. But, price ranges, the Coopers, $10.95 I think. The Mangrove Jacks, $19.95, so that's like nearly 20 quid. Coopers is just over a tenner. But then the Munton's Flagship, I did get it at a bargain price, but it normally goes for $28.95, so £10, £20, £30, let's call it, roughly. So this came with some hops, 20 grams. What's 20 grams of hops? Not very much, shouldn't be in price wise. I seem to remember 100 grams, is it 100 grams? 500 grams? I don't know. Whatever hops are, about a £5, aren't they? Possibly for 100 grams, so a quid at most. I'll stop faffing about. Right, so that's the Mangrove Jacks. So it started with a good head. It's still holding a cap, but that's about it. Now straight away, it's got a thin to medium mouthfeel. For a £20 kit, that's a little bit disappointing. A £20 kit normally has a medium to good mouthfeel, as I said. But anyway, There's some nice dark notes. There's a sort of, there's a bitterness. It's probably like coffee. Now, I'm not a big fan of coffee, so it's not too strong, but it's, or bitter dark chocolate. Yeah, I'd say bitter. It's like a bitter dark chocolate. Yeah. So we're going maltiness first. You get burnt roasty notes up front. It eases back into this like a dark chocolate bitterness. And then, yeah, and then there's like an earthiness cuts in. That'll be the hops, that'll be the Goldings. Goldings is a classic flavour of that earthiness coming in towards the back end. Not a bad beer. 20 quid. Not worth 20 quid, I want to said. And, while we're ranting, it's a faff. A gimmick. This. Everything comes in one pouch. Well, it's a double pouch. There's an inner pouch and then there's an outer pouch. But you can't easily cut into the outer pouch. You couldn't like snip the top off, empty the contents out, and then you've got an inner pouch, and then you can cut lower down. No, it's joined together, so you've got your yeast and your hops in with that. So you can't really put the sachet in boiling water, or not boiling water, but hot water. But also, I didn't put it in hot water, and I would have said the malt was as runny as a standard kit that you put in hot water, which means there ain't as much malt in your malt extract, because there's malt extract and there's malt extract, obviously, if you know what I mean. Right, so that's enough of the Mangrove Jacks. Nice beer, bit steep on price. Right, this is the Coopers. It is actually holding a better cap. It's not holding a head. It did have a head, but the head's dropped back. It's now holding a cap. Quite a good cap. And as I say, £10. Standard kit and kilo. Cheap and cheerful. So let's dive in for the taste. It's sweeter, slightly, but there's also a lot better mouthfeel. Did I tell you what this was? It did end higher. That one was 5.7%, ended at 1.010. The Coopers ended up at 4%, starting gravity of 1.044, finishing gravity of 1.014. 17 and 18 degrees. Also had a kilo of standard sugar put in, but I would say that is the nicer beer. Let's go in for the description. So there's a sweetness up front. Then it dies into a chocolate. And there's a bitterness coming through after the sweetness. So it's probably like a bit like a sweet stout. And then there's, yeah, the same sort of bitter dark chocolate or coffee maybe. Don't really do coffee. Call it dark chocolate. Dark chocolate notes. and the body is so much better. And if you look at that, look at the lacing in comparison. That is, yeah, it's ever so slightly sweet. It's got all the chocolatey flavours, the bitterness that's coming through. That is very nice. That's watery in comparison. Both nice beers, but £10 versus £20, I think the £10 has to win it. Yeah, it's got so much more of a mouthfeel. That is very nice. I did them. I wasn't judging them before I did them. I did think the whole pouch in a pouch thing was a bit of a gimmick. I still think it is. What's wrong with a tin with a lid on top and all the stuff that you take out, take your lid off, and you've got your instructions and everything out of it. Didn't come with a dry hop stage. The only thing it's missing is that back end earthiness. That'll be the hops that's in that one. So yeah, that earthiness is just coming through now. Which is nice. But then, that is also nice. Yeah. The Cooper's Stout is a definite winner. Beats the Mangrove Jacks. Not only on price, but also on the beeriness, the mouthfeel, the overall experience, shall we say. Right, like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time. Cheers, bye.